What is up, guys? Welcome here. Welcome back. We got a lot of news to get into today. We've got the Western theme returning officially to LEGO, possibly. We've got a new city modular that is the shopping street. A lot of things to talk about with that. Got some Bricklink issues going on. Big problems with Bricklink right now that people are in a very big uproar over. They're already putting out public apologies and stuff like that, kind of rolling it back a little bit, so we'll have to discuss what that means. The space theme making a very small return, probably being phased out now with those new space themed boxes that we've been getting as of late, and a couple other things that I want to talk about. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. First up is the Western theme making its return. Now, this is an article named Pony Up, LEGO Ideas is Fixin' for an Old-Fashioned Wild West Build. Now, this set is going to be coming in the LEGO Ideas program. As a brick-built old Western town gains 10,000 supporters on the community-based platform. Now, for those of you who don't know what the LEGO Ideas platform is, it is basically LEGO's own version of the Bricklink Designer program, where people can make their own sets, design their own sets, publish them to LEGO Ideas website, have people vote on them. Once they hit 10,000 votes, it goes through to a review stage. There are 3 review stages a year by LEGO for all of the sets that hit the 10,000 threshold, and LEGO will look at the sets. Usually there's about 40 each review, give or take, and they will decide if they want to make this set a real set or if they want to pass on it and just move on to something else. So it's a kind of a fun way to get some sets that LEGO might not make, but us ourselves, we can vote on them. Like I said, it's basically the Bricklink Designer program with not as much power in the hands of the consumer, because in the Bricklink Designer program, obviously, what's voted is what's made. With the Ideas program, LEGO still decides if they're not going to make it or not. That is how we got the medieval blacksmith, which was awesome to get because that marked the return of LEGO Medieval. Brought back the 3-in-1 castle for the Black Falcons. It brought out the Lion Knight's castle, and it just brought a lot of good stuff to us. So the Ideas program is a good program. So just like I just said, how that medieval blacksmith sparked the revival, if you will, of the castle theme. If this set gets passed, it could mark the revival of the Western theme in a semi sort of way. Obviously, the castle theme didn't return. The Western theme probably wouldn't make a full return either, but it could spark some revitalization in the community. Now, this is designed by Brickmaster 5000, and it is the Old Western town. It showcases a Wild West landscape with 3 main buildings, recreating a jail, a bank, and a hotel. There's plenty of side builds to flesh out the diorama as well, including a mineshaft, cactus, and much more. It includes a cast of 9 minifigures: the sheriff, the crook, the hotel owner and his wife, the banker, a cowboy and his wife, a second cowboy, and the ghost miner. Now, this is very interesting to look at. I'm going to look at these pictures on a better website in just a moment, but here is all of the LEGO Ideas projects in review for that 3rd and final review of 2025, because it's like done every 4 months or so. So every 4 months they'll do a review of all the sets that hit the 10,000 mark, and these are currently what is in review. And actually, there is a modular medieval corner and it looks very similar to the Bricklink Designer Program Series 9 medieval inn that just got passed. So I don't know if LEGO would probably want to make this set since it looks so similar, but this is what it looks like right here. I'll discuss this set more in the castle news video, so that's for that video, but I'm just giving you a look at this here. But going over the Old Western town here, this is where it is on LEGO Ideas. They posted it and they got 10,000 supporters. It got posted on April 7th. And there's a lot of stuff that he goes into here for the lore behind it, the story behind the set. Just reading the end here, it says, I built the set because I have always loved the look of towns from the Old West, and I thought it would be really neat to build it out of Lego. But I think it would make a good Lego set because I think it looks very picturesque, and it had multiple functions to make it suitable for play as well as display. Thanks for checking it out. And this has really cool feature in it. And it is the Ghost Miner. Now right here, it looks a little bland. I'm not gonna lie. It looks a little not colorful enough in terms of an official Lego set that you would see on store shelves. And obviously that would all be fixed if Lego passes it, because they're going to work with the designer and really fix this thing a lot. Because for those of you who don't know, the medieval blacksmith, when it first was put onto this website, it looked a lot different than the finalization that we got. Very uncolorful, very dull, and what it turned into was a very colorful set. So that'll happen with this set as well if it gets passed. So don't think that this is the finalized version that we would see on store shelves. Now obviously you get a full-on basically town street here. This would look amazing with a train and stuff going by. But you obviously have this stuff trying to give the idea of it like made of wood and stuff. Here's the hotel. You got the nice road here made out of Lego pieces. The backs are actually opened up, which is an interesting technique, not having a closed back anyway. So it's kind of like that dollhouse design that the Lioness Castle has. Obviously you got a bank, you got bank robbers and stuff like that. And this little brick built mountainous region right here, this would get updated very much by Lego. And here's that little ghost figure as well, that translucent blue that people have been wanting for decades at this point for the ghost figures for Star Wars Jedi. They're basically Force ghosts. So that would be an interesting thing if they came out with that. But here's the inside of that mine. A lot of bats in there. My goodness. But yeah, I think that it's a good starting point. And then for Lego to really get their hands on it, to upgrade the color palette, just make it look a lot more colorful. And then a train or something would be awesome. Obviously not in the set, that'd be too expensive, but as that add-on would be awesome. Like that Lucky Bricks Bricklink Designer train that we got would be awesome. So just wanted to point this out because I'm a fan of the Western theme, and it's cool to see that it made it through with the 10,000 vote, which means there's people out there who enjoy the Western theme as well. Moving on here, I want to discuss the next CMF series. The official next series, not just a one and done type thing like the Spider-Man was and the F1 cars was. No, this is the next CMF series 28, and it's going to be focusing on animals. I'm not a fan. Some people probably are. But these are the upcoming series in the Series 28. All animal figures. I was fine with only getting like one of these. So how we usually get one castle figure every series. Throw one of these in every series. Someone that's dressed up like an animal and be fine with it. Not give it its own full theme. I feel like it's kind of a waste for the CMF series because of how fun it is. Every time one comes out, it's a big event. Like, oh, we gotta go find it, get it at the store, find that one that everyone's wanting before everyone finds them. I think it's really cool. This one, I see this one selling along the lines of the F1 CMF series, which did not sell well. I always see like hundreds of them at stores. Spider-Man, when it came out, it was out day one. I was able to get each one, and ever since I've never seen them again after the opening day. I assume these will be available very widely. Even Series 27 was available very widely. Of course, obviously not the Wolfpack figure, but yeah. But really the only thing in this series that I am seeing that I would be like, okay, that's pretty cool piece to have is this basket and this boomerang. So that's the koala and the Easter Bunny figures. So obviously for medieval mocks or just mocks in general, having a boomerang for like a medieval weapon of like maybe the wolf pack using them. Because I know boomerangs were used a long while back for hunting and stuff. Obviously it's like a stick you're throwing. But I think that would be a cool new weapon to give to your medieval faction or something. I think that'd be pretty cool. As well as the basket. Basket's kind of medieval-esque and can really go with anything in any mock that you're creating or whatever it may be. But yeah, and I guess maybe the lion head for Lion Knights faction. Maybe on like a statue of some kind. I don't know. But other than that, I'm not seeing too much that is exciting. Obviously, you get the new green base plates. But yeah, other than that, I'm not seeing too much that is getting me too excited. But let me know what your thoughts are on those. Next up is it's the Lego space theme that we've been having as of late. It came out and it's not really the space theme. It's more along the lines of a sub-theme with a special box. So I could see this being what they bring back and how they bring back the castle theme. Because there's a lot of talk in the community right now is the castle theme returning because they're retiring all the sets. They came out with these new factions and so on and so forth. Obviously, that's another talk for the news segments, news videos that I put out. So be sure to subscribe if you are a medieval fan and want to see that kind of stuff because we get into a lot of crazy stuff over there on those videos. But regardless, this is the space theme that is technically back, and they use these box arts on all of them. So even if it's like a 4+ baby set, they put this space gray tag on the top of the boxes. This set right here, the NASA Artemis Space Launch System rocket, coming January 1st, is the only space set coming out with this. There's no more space sets as of right now. There's no other space sets. So my theory or hypothesis is this is probably gonna finish off the sub theme that they did. They even did a CMF line with the space theme when all this came out. They partnered with NASA, came out with these space futuristic type of sets that could be coming out in the future for NASA. This one is one right here. Kind of what sparked all this off. But again, like if you look at any of these boxes, let's look at this interstellar spaceship here. Obviously it's a kitty type set, but you still get that gray, cool little space logo for the box art. I think this is probably what's going to possibly, hopefully happen with the castle theme. Because again, I know it's a not popular opinion. I don't think the medieval castle theme would sell very well if it came out like Dreams does. See, I can go about this so many ways and explain it. Dreams with everything we know doesn't sell well. It's a Lego-owned IP. Monkey Kid, I don't think sold well. It went 2 waves. I don't think that went very far. Dreams, I think Dreams is going to be like Chima. Like, they won't... Like, when Chima was what came after the castle themes. They were trying to do it. Chima's like Ninjago's version of castle. So it's like, in a way. They could not sell those sets. So they were out for like 2 waves or 3 maybe. Bro, there are stories. Bro, they had these sets of Chima sets in the basements of the mall Lego stores for years because they could not sell them. That is how bad and how poorly Chima sold. I think Dreams is right along the same line, to be perfectly honest with you. Not a lot of people buy them. Not a lot of people use them. They're kind of silly, kind of goofy. They even have a show about it. I would rather, and I'm sure the medieval and castle theme would sell better than that. I'm not saying that. But I think that both of them shouldn't even be made. I think that the castle theme, the space theme, should all follow suit. The castle, pirates, western should all follow suit with what space has done, making its own CMF space themed sets, figures, making its own CMF or box arts with that specialized corner flap tag, whatever you want to call it. So it would say castle, maybe be bright yellow, and have the castle logo. Same with pirates, same with western. And for those sets, whenever it comes out, say it comes out for city, maybe it could be a Renaissance type set where people are dressing up like castle figures, and it goes under the city line. But like when you come to these types of sets, these are not under the city line. These are under the Technic line, but you still get those box arts. So I think that's what could happen with Castle. And I think it's what they should do, honestly. So I just wanted to discuss that a little bit because it's kind of interesting how they're only coming out with one more space set like this. So I don't know if maybe they're like, okay, we've done what we want to do with space. Let's move on to our next set that we want to do that specialized box art for, and it'd be Castle. Like the stars are aligning up very well for that to be the case. Even Bricklink Designer Program Series 9, that's a whole thing in and of its own right, how that went about. But I'll just say it. It could not be a setup better for Castle to return in 2026 or 2027 as of right now. It could not be set up better if Lego wasn't trying. It really seems like Lego's trying to set it up for the Castle theme to return. But we'll obviously have to wait and see how that pans out and how it shakes out in the end. Next up is the shopping street. Now, I know everyone likes their city modulars for building their cities and whatnot. A new modular comes out every 2 years, every 1 year. It kind of depends. I'm not quite sure on that. I'm not a big modular guy. The only modular I've ever bought is the Daily Bugle, and even that, probably people wouldn't say that's a modular, but it's made on a base plate. It's got Technic pieces to all fit together on this city street and stuff. So I'd say it's a modular. But people love these modulars, and they just released the next one that's going to be coming out January 4th for $250. Now that is a big increase from what they previously are. I believe they were $220, the most recent ones. But this one is designed in such a unique way that it is very intriguing to look at, and it's like you want to look at all the little angles of it. Now, at first glance, when I see this set, I immediately think Rodeo Drive in LA. So for those of you who don't know, there's in Los Angeles, California, there's a street called Rodeo Drive, and it's a famous street in Beverly Hills where the most high-end jewelry stores, stuff like that is. Even on GTA 5, that's where the first jewelry heist takes place. We get on the bikes and you go through the tunnels and stuff for GTA 5. That's where it's based off of, is this Rodeo Drive. Now this is Rodeo Drive right here. You can see what I'm meaning by how those how the angles kind of are mimicking that in a way, and you have that little alleyway that goes through there. It's very reminiscent of that Rodeo Drive feeling. We got the alleyway, and you got these rounded corners, architecturally unique and stuff like that. So I don't know if that was used as inspiration or not, but I think it's a pretty cool way to come out with a unique set instead of just these blocky modulars that they're always doing. And I just love how this is all rounded off right here. It looks so unique and good in this alleyway that cuts through here. Very nice. And obviously you get a lot of new parts usually with these modulars. It's cool to have this furniture store. It looks like they're using swimming flippers for like the back of that chair, which is kind of fun and unique. And you have some pieces in here like for the music store. A lot of crazy stuff going on. That looks like a freaking Django Fett pistol piece. It's gold. It's interesting. But you'll have to let me know if you're a modular fan how this is looking to you. Cool to have a garden up here, birdhouse and whatnot. There it is in IRL. All the minifigures you get here, you get like a little pipe cleaning, pipe fixing guy. Oh, you even get some greenery back here, like it's a little courtyard and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. Just love this, all these windows and all the way that they just did the architecture is very unique and very satisfying. Even that, it's very satisfying to look at. And here's the previous ones as of late. Tudor Corner, stuff like that. Here they all are lined up. So I think Lego did a pretty good job here. But again, I'm not a big modular guy, so you have to let me know on that. And obviously for the GWP that you're going to get for this is going to be the parade car. GWPs usually come out for the modulars when it first releases. So if you want that set and those unique figures or whatever comes in it, be sure to be there, be an insider so that you get it on January 1st, I believe, because on January 1st it will release, and then January 4th it will release for everyone else. And insiders, being an insider for Lego is obviously free, so I very highly recommend just going ahead and signing up for that. Next up is the construction sub-theme. Now I know this is probably not as exciting for many of you, is the construction theme. We have recently gotten the cement truck, the cement mixer announcement coming out January 1st. And I really love how they've been doing this construction sub-theme. I even wish they did that like they did with Space, have a construction theme up there. Do it for police, do it for fire trucks. Would really be cool. But I love how they've got even like a bit of lore to these sets where it's like this company, this elephant company is basically a new company to Lego and stuff like that. And the only thing that I always despise about these sets is they're based off of European vehicles. Like this doesn't look anything like what trucks in America look like. This would be turned around and the chute comes out the front so that the truck can drive where it needs to be. So say we're pouring a driveway. You're driving up to the driveway, setting at the driveway, you're pouring the concrete here, and you've got the chute coming out over the front of you as the driver so you can see where to move the chute because you can move the chute where it needs to put the concrete. And obviously you see why I like the construction theme so much because I'm so heavily invested in that construction world IRL. So I will probably do some editing to this set, turn this around somehow. Even the front, because this is a cab over truck, which means the driver is sitting on top of the engine. In America, the engines are usually out front. Just a little different vehicle looks. So this is coming out January 1st, continuing that sub-theme line. I really like the set. I really like what they've been doing with the set. And it'll be fun to have them all together because I've recently picked up the excavator and the crane. The crane is recently sold out. People love that crane so much. I'm hoping that they continue this line. The thing is, I I want to kind of hypothesize what might be coming because of how they've been releasing things. So I've put all of the construction themed sets into a wish list, and it comes to $594. Now, this steamroller is not part of the new construction theme line. Usually they say yellow construction excavator, yellow construction wheel loader, yellow mobile construction crane, yellow bulldozer. This one, oddly enough, doesn't say yellow cement mixer. I don't know why they didn't do that, because it's all part of that same rhino or elephant company. You can even see the logo on the wheel loader right there. So, and I even threw the city tower in there because it was cool to get that crane with that yellow in it. And you got this heavy duty tow truck with a little dump truck that you get as well. But this is the release dates for each of the construction themed Lego sets that have been coming out of recent. The Steamroller came out on January 1st, 2024. Now, this Steamroller, like we said, is not part of the construction theme because it's not that new yellow-orange color. So we can go ahead and remove that. But the excavator and the crane came out June 1st and August 1st, 2024. So that happened, okay? Then the wheel loader came out January 1st, 2025. So that was about a 6-month difference. So the excavator started this new construction sub-theme. Then the crane came out right around the same time. Then the wheel loader came out 6 months, or give or take, later. Then, 6 months from then, we got the yellow bulldozer and the heavy-duty truck with crane. Now, honestly, we can remove the city tower, and we can honestly probably remove the heavy-duty tow truck because it's not really part of the big construction wave that they were doing. I don't even know if it has the elephant logo on it. Maybe that's why it doesn't say yellow dump truck or whatever you would say, because it's not really about it, but it's kind of, oh, there it is. No. The logo is right there. The logo is right there on the spoiler for the roof. So, yeah, that is technically part of the construction theme. But if we removed that, we would get a nice idea that 6 months after the yellow bulldozer came out, then, what are we doing here? Let me just look at this. Trying to get to back to that construction wish list here. Okay. So the yellow bulldozer came out. The HD truck came out. You can kind of say that the HD truck and yellow bulldozer was what the excavator and crane did. And then 6 months later, the wheel loader came out, kind of a small set. And then the cement mixer's coming out 6 months after those bulldozer and whatnot came out. So, if history repeats itself like it's done, in 6 months, come August, June, we're going to get 2 more construction-themed sets. And I would love to know your ideas and what you would want as the next construction-themed set. I hope that it's either a backhoe tractor. The wheel loader, I really don't like the design of it. It looks nothing like a wheel loader, in my personal opinion. It could be, I just don't know what else there is to really do. Other than maybe a pickup truck, maybe. That's why I want to discuss this and get your ideas what you guys would also want for the next construction themed set. Yeah, that's it for the construction sub theme and what's going to be coming for that. It's pretty exciting and fun to look forward to. The city theme has been making a lot of moves for airport themed sets this year. So they're going to be doing a lot of airport themed stuff. They got the snowplow truck for the runways. They've got, ooh, now that I think about it, okay, so if they're focusing on the airport idea this year for City, what are some airport construction vehicles that they could make? Maybe like a paving machine? I don't know. I'm not sure. That's something to keep in mind though. So yeah, that's a fun little idea there. And lastly, I want to discuss this article that is about Bricklink designer or Bricklink closing in 35 countries. Now, Bricklink sells a lot of people's stuff. Bricklink doesn't produce anything other than the Bricklink designer program. But unfortunately, it is shutting down in 35 countries. Earlier this week, the LEGO Group has quietly announced that it's closing Bricklink's online marketplace in 35 countries next month in a move that store owners are calling heartbreaking. Now, it says we don't currently have the resources to support marketplace operations in these areas at the same level as everywhere else. The statement reads, we're continuously reviewing our options and however, in case we're able to return at any point in the future. And here's the full list of countries that are being removed. I'm not going to read through them, but I mean, there's a lot of big countries like Egypt. LEGO was just recently in Egypt shaking the hands of like the freaking president of Egypt, giving him the Pyramid of Giza LEGO set and stuff. Like it made news and stuff. And now it's like shutting down Bricklink because LEGO owns Bricklink now. Like they're together. They are united now, which is why we get the Bricklink Designer Program. But I mean, Israel even. India. India is not a small country. Like, are we being serious? Bricklink's shutting down on all these. It's unbelievable. I mean, if they can't do it, they can't do it. They would obviously love to still be making the income. Obviously, it's just not making sense to continue forward for them. But we'll just have to see where that goes from here. But if you enjoy this video, subscribe because I post Lego medieval pirates and all sorts of content like that weekly. Also started memberships, a lot of good perks for members. A lot of fun stuff going on over there. Unique videos, special videos that only members get to view, as well as just supporting the channel in general. For future contests, we're going to be running a contest soon for build your own minifigure. We did a vote and it looks like the castle theme won, so we'll be doing a tournament for that soon where you're building your own best medieval castle minifigure you can, sending it to me, and we're going to be voting on them. Whoever has the best one and makes it through the tournament wins like $5 or a special CMF or something like that. We still haven't decided on that. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, and I will see you in the next video.